Today we're going to talk to someone whose artworks have been a source of a lot of controversy on social media. Let's see what he thinks.
I think this was probably one of the highlight of this
Of
week.
the week?
Of the
Yes,
week.
yes.
In terms of creative industry in Rwanda.
So myself, I've been at the center of a controversy, and it seems a lot of designers are doing things that some people don't like. And let's bring this to the table and see, make it part of our discussion. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us your name, what you do, and basically who you are.
Thank you for having me. My name is Khalilu Rahman, and many people know me from social media as 63. I'm a visual designer, or what I would like to call a graphic designer mostly.
63 has been a name that is attached to controversy. So, or what we could call provocative design. So why do you think your work is provocative to some people?
First and foremost, I like to think that I have a type of alien brain. I like to take inspiration from people who also think like aliens. For example, people like Kanye, people like Donald Trump, people like Tekashi 69. Many of my inspiration are mostly controversial people, so I guess that's why even most of the things I do come off as kind of controversial.
Do you make controversy to sell, or it is an integral part of your personality?
Mostly it's for sale, because about personality, I don't know. I don't know if I'm qualified enough to make an assessment about myself if I'm really a controversial person. But also in my daily basis, I tend not to agree with people on a lot of subjects. So I guess I'm kind of controversial as a person as well, but mostly I do it to sell.
How do you balance your creative mind to the cultural context of the people you are within, or where your audience is based?
Basically, people in Rwanda, like the older generation and us, the new generation, we have a really big gap between our thinking. Our parents, the older generation, they have been trying to impose us their ideas for a long time, and we as young people, we think out of the box. Most of us have been fortunate enough to travel and see what other cultures are doing, and what basically other people think about how they interact with their culture. Because, for example, I'll tell you, for like that picture of my recent controversial created by picture of Jesus, I'm not the first person who ever done that, I've seen Jesus with a blunt, I've seen Jesus in a club, I've seen Jesus with a bottle of Hennessy, but just our people are not ready to receive this. They are not ready to receive this. They still can't they still just don't see it as art. You see, whenever they see that picture, they just relate it to their God, straight up to their God.
Someone actually recommended that we have this conversation with you, and she quoted you as one of the designers who are challenging our mindset. What do you have to say about that?
That really makes my heart warm, because when I do this, mostly my first target is not. It's not like, oh, I'm going to educate people, I'm going to change the mind of Rwandans, I'm just putting things out there as I see it. For me, it's okay to maybe take the king and ask the king if he likes white. For me, in my mind, it's okay. And I have come to accept my personality as who I am. So whenever I think about something, if I allow myself to think about it, it means I can allow myself to put it out there in the world. So somebody calling me a designer who is challenging the minds of the people, Wow, that's the best title I ever had. I can run with that, really.
Okay, that's a compliment
Okay.
to him.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like, because you sound like a free spirit, someone who does things, you don't have bigger goals towards education or something, you just do things because you feel it. Do you feel like your freedom of speech is undermined by people who are making negative comments about your work? And do you care?
Well, let me start by, do I care? No, but the thing is, when people makes negative comment about my work, actually it even kind of makes me more happier than somebody who say, oh yeah bro, you did it. Because when I create things, my first purpose is not, okay, let me piss these people off, let me do this. No, when I create things, I create things that I can accept to see. For example, when I'm making a t-shirt, I'm trying to make something I can wear by myself. So if I can wear it, I don't really care about what somebody else got to say about it, because I have approved it for myself. And really, I like to think that I'm some type of a free spirit, and I don't really have because I just recently started doing it. I haven't really put it so much thought with I'm going to educate people like this. And now that I can see that people are seeing it like that, it's starting to put a little bit pressure on me. But it's just the beginning of what I'm doing now. I guess we can only wait and see what it will become, because now I really feel pressured to keep it up and see what it's going to bring up in the future, either jail or money.
So this is another question that somehow connects to that. See, it's good to know that you don't care, but let's talk about design in a much more professional or career-wise. So we are in Twitter era. What we call Twitter era is whatever that goes on social media or on Twitter, it creates controversy or sometimes a sort of judgmental where people can label you as an A or B or C depending on what people want to see or want to hear. So if you look at this and then look you as a professional visual storyteller, do you ever see something like this affecting your personal brand or your career?
Yeah, well, it might affect my personal brand and my personal career somehow in the future. Yeah, because for example, there are some religious people who are thinking about back again to that example of the last artwork I've made. There might be some religious people who are thinking about giving me some gigs to work on, and now they cancelled because I have probably insulted their Jesus. So it will definitely affect my career, but also I believe that there are also people who are working with me right now and who have been working with me in the past because of what they have been seeing that I put out on social media. For the past 6 months, I have been getting a lot of commissions from social media because of the quote-unquote controversial that I'm putting out there. So just like everything else, I think there will be some negative risk and there will be some positive risk. There will be some positive rewards. What I have to do is just keep being me and weather the storm.
Okay. So in other words, this is a risk you want to take. And then I like the fact that you called out something about you being you. So now, do you have any advice to give to other creatives or visual designers in terms of inspiration or in terms of making freedom of expression or making
embracing
that stand
their
out.
own
Embracing
personalities and translating that into their artworks?
Well, again, I'm like the least person in the world who can advise anybody. Excuse me.
So you are no hero.
Again,
Okay.
yeah, I will come again. I was saying I am like the last person in the world who can advise anybody. But one thing that I can tell people about expressing themselves is you have to be okay with yourself. You have to agree with yourself. For example, if I agree that I'm going to wear this hoodie, yeah, and I agree that I like this hoodie on me, it means I have certified it, so I can put it out in the world. Okay, here is me wearing this hoodie, yeah? So I don't really care about what everybody else will think if I have my own approval. That's my thing, because I would rather be at war with the world. I would fight everybody in the world instead of being okay with everybody in the world and fight with myself inside.
Yeah, he has a very strong personality.
Well,
Yeah.
I have to say I am impressed for some personal reason, but thank you very much. Unless if you
Yeah.
have any other question, but to call this a wrap.
I think, hey, 63. Thank you for the chat. I know you're in a different time zone. I don't know what time it is in your country, but thanks for taking part in Ikawa Talk as our second, guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
We look forward to you to see more of your creative, controversial work. But
Punchlines.
also, we look forward to have you more in any other conversation we'll host in Ikawa Talk.
Yes, thank you guys for having me too. It means a lot that you guys are very big creative, and it means a lot that my opinion is important for you guys to have it on your show. It's like another stamp I'm getting on my bulletin.
Thank you.
Hey, peace.
Peace.